Over the years, as you've continued to watch YouTube videos, you might have decided that you're interested in starting your own channel, but you also might be a little bit worried that it's too late. Maybe you feel like you've missed the boat because, of course, YouTube has continued to grow and there continue to be more and more creators on the platform. There are now millions of creators here and millions upon millions of videos. And so you might feel like making videos of your own will just be a waste of time because how will they ever get found? So in today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the different things that you should consider if you're thinking about starting your own channel and whether or not it's too late at this point to start a channel, whether there's still the opportunity to be successful here, to get the subscribers, to get the views on your videos. And later on in this video, I'm also going to talk about ads and how ads are paying these days, whether they pay better or worse than they used to pay, and all those different things to help you make this decision. Because of the way that YouTube works and the way people consume YouTube videos and interact with channels, I believe that there is always going to be room for new creators. And here's why. Channels thrive by building communities. They attract subscribers that are interested in what they're talking about and interested in their point of view, and then those people continue to watch their videos and leave comments. Sure, some views come by people randomly finding videos via search, but the majority of views come from YouTube suggesting content to viewers and then people subscribing to those channels and following along with the channels. Now here's what I think you should keep in mind. Even though there are more channels on YouTube year after year, and specifically there's new channels on YouTube year after year, some of the old channels die away. Sometimes creators stop posting videos or they have their subscribers lose interest in the videos that they're creating. And that means that there's always room for new blood coming into YouTube. The other thing you should think about is that the viewers who are watching these videos, their interests are changing. These are real people who are growing and have evolving tastes. You aren't interested in exactly the same thing that you were interested in a few years ago. So as you think about the millions of people who use YouTube and watch videos here, don't think that they all have already found everything that they want to watch. As each of those people is continuing to grow and change, they're always going to be looking for new videos that are interesting to them based on who they are becoming. And so for that reason, YouTube can really never become saturated with creators. Now, yes, eventually YouTube will pass away. It will lose popularity. Some other social media platform will become the giant of the industry and people will stop watching YouTube. But that certainly isn't happening yet. YouTube is continuing to grow in popularity every single year. So you certainly haven't missed the bandwagon. Another thing to keep in mind, aside from just that people are changing and looking for new things, is that your videos are not going to be the same as what's already out there. There are so many different ways that creators differentiate themselves just naturally without even trying. First of all, you have the specific topic you're talking about. If you do a search on YouTube, you'll probably find that there is a relatively small number of people who also talk about that exact topic. And then beyond that, it's not just the topic, but it's your angle on the topic. How are you approaching the topic? And then beyond that, we've got your take on the topic. So we have what you're talking about, how you're talking about it, and then your opinion on everything that you're saying. And then beyond that, we've got your personality and everything about you. What you look like, how you sound, the vocabulary that you use. All of that goes into making your video and your channel completely unique. And that means that it's relatively easy to differentiate yourself from your competitors. Okay, so those are just a few reasons why YouTube isn't saturated. But let's also talk about how challenging YouTube really is. This is another reason why you don't need to be afraid of the competition. Now, I'm not going to say that YouTube is really difficult or that there's only a few people who can do it or anything like that, but it definitely takes some real effort, some dedication, commitment with your time. You need to do planning, you need to be somewhat creative, and there needs to be some passion behind what you're doing because First of all, that passion will come across in your videos and people will watch your videos more if you have that passion. But second, you're not gonna stick with it if you don't have any passion behind what you're talking about or the videos that you're creating. So you put all those things together and what you find is that YouTube is somewhat difficult, and because of that, in any given particular niche here on YouTube, there's not very many different channels that actually make good videos. So sure, there might be a lot of videos on YouTube that use some of the keywords that you want to talk about, but most of them probably aren't very good. And the more you dig, the more you'll discover that. But here's the good news. The YouTube algorithm is there to help you out. If you make videos on topics that people are interested in watching videos on, and your videos are better than the competition's videos, then YouTube will push your videos to the top. YouTube will suggest your videos to people who are interested in those topics. And that means that you, fortunately, don't have to do all the work of trying to stand out from your competition, trying to get seen. The algorithm does that work for you. And this year, more than any other year, the algorithm is better than ever. And that's really more true this year than any other year, because as the YouTube algorithm has continued to improve, it has gotten better and better at pushing the best videos to the top. So it used to be that videos sometimes went viral randomly, but now it's pretty predictable. If you make a good video on a topic people are interested in, more likely than not, given a little bit of time, the algorithm will work its magic and your video will take off. And that means that now it's relatively easy to grow a successful channel on YouTube. And not only that, but to predict the growth of a channel that's making good videos on topics that people are interested in. So like I said before, one of the ingredients that's necessary for making good videos and being successful on YouTube is to have that passion, to really care about what you're talking about and or really care about making videos. And I have to say that you can build a successful channel on almost passion alone. Now, it's not just because you care about it, but it's because what caring about it makes you do. If you really care about the videos you're making and you really want to be a successful YouTuber, then you'll bring it. You'll work on your video quality. You'll make better and better videos. You'll figure out ways to make your videos more interesting, and you'll be consistent. So if you really want to be a successful YouTuber, then go for it, because you'll find that if you really want it, it will actually be surprisingly easy. I know I said that YouTube is difficult, but the less you care about it, the more difficult it is. The more you care about it, the easier it will seem. Now, one thing that I do want to warn you of before you even get started is that whenever you first start your channel, whether you start it now or you start it a year from now, or even if you had started it several years in the past, whenever you start that channel, at first it will probably feel like it's not working, like it's not going anywhere. And that's just because it takes time. At first, your videos won't be very good probably, but over time they'll get better and better and better, and so the algorithm will promote them more and more. It also just takes time for the algorithm to figure out who is interested in your videos. So even if your videos were amazing right from the start, the algorithm will have to test it against different, essentially, profiles of people who are different ages, people who have different interests, people who have watched different videos in the past, before it starts to find a pattern of who likes your videos. And that's when your videos will really start to take off and go viral. That's when the algorithm will really start pushing them out there. I've had many videos that long after I made them went viral. In fact, the very first video on this channel here, when I first made it, it only got a few views out of the gate. But then about 6 months later, it took off. The algorithm figured out who was interested in it, started suggesting it to people, and it went on to get hundreds of thousands of views. All right. So now you understand why YouTube isn't as competitive as it seems and what it really takes to stand out and what to expect when you start your channel. But there's two more things I want to share with you before we wrap this video up. The first one is I want to talk about ads, how ads pay, do they pay better or worse than they used to pay, Is the money that you make from ads really worth it? And then second, I'm gonna share with you one of my #1 tips for standing out on YouTube and really succeeding as a YouTube creator. Okay, so ads. Real brief history lesson here. Ads used to pay pretty well here on YouTube, and then a couple of years ago there was this big thing that happened that people called adpocalypse. Basically, a bunch of YouTube's advertisers, YouTube's biggest advertisers, got upset with how some of their ads were being shown on YouTube, and they all pulled their ads from YouTube, which was a big problem for YouTube because YouTube really relies on that advertising money to stay in the green and to be able to continue to operate. So that caused YouTube a big problem that they needed to solve very, very quickly. So they essentially blacklisted a whole bunch of keywords that could be in videos descriptions, in videos titles, that the advertisers might find offensive, which meant that a lot of videos got demonetized. Like I said, this happened a couple years ago, and when it happened, many big YouTubers' ad revenue severely was cut. I'm talking cut by 60 or 70% or even more. And so YouTubers that were relying on this for their primary source of income had a big problem on their hands. Now, ever since then, YouTube has been working on improving their algorithm for determining which videos are suitable for advertisers. And at this point, it actually works very well, and there are very few categories of videos that can't be monetized, and it's very easy to understand YouTube's guidelines as to which types of videos will be eligible for monetization versus which won't be. And so most YouTube creators are just fine, and they're able to make good money from those ads. For reference, most YouTubers earn somewhere between $1 and $20 for every 1,000 views that their videos get. So if they make a video and it gets 1,000 views, they might earn anywhere between $1 and $20. Most YouTube creators are earning between $5 and $10. My channel happens to be on the slightly higher end of that. I tend to earn a little over $10 per every 1,000 views that my videos get. And I have to say that over the past 2.5 years that I've had this channel, my ad revenue has done nothing but go up. I've continued to earn a little bit more and a little bit more per 1,000 views. So of course my channel has also gotten more and more views over time, but I've also earned more per view. And I think that there are a few reasons for that. One is because there's actually a little bit less competition than there used to be before adpocalypse, because before adpocalypse, YouTube put ads on all the videos. There were very few videos that were demonetized. Most of them that were only demonetized for copyright reasons. So now that it is a slightly more curated group of videos that can be monetized, there's a little bit less competition, so you can earn a little bit more. Now, right after adpocalypse, people did earn less because there were fewer advertisers, but now that most of the big advertisers have come back and YouTube has overcome this problem with their advertisers, there are more advertisers than ever who want to advertise on YouTube, so they're willing to pay more for YouTube ads. So right now the situation is better than ever. People can earn great money as YouTube creators, and it continues to improve. Okay, so before we wrap this up, let me just share with you one of my top tips for standing out from your competition. Now, this isn't my biggest piece of advice for growing your channel or anything like that. I've got several other videos that you can watch to learn more about how to grow your channel on YouTube. This is just a specific thing that you can do that not very many people are thinking of that will really set you apart. And that is to be crystal clear on the format of your videos. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, there are basically 8 different primary formats that a YouTube video can have. There are YouTube videos that are listicle videos, explainer videos, commentary videos, interviews, music videos, challenges, and there are also reaction videos and narrative videos. So right now I'm not going to go through exactly what all of these formats are, but I want you to understand why it's important to have a recognizable format for your video and how it can help your video to really stand out up from the competition. Basically, if your video has a format that your viewer will recognize even subconsciously, then they'll be more likely to watch more of your video, to stick around for the ending that they know is coming. So think about a movie that has a recognizable plot where you have a hero who encounters some problem and then is working to overcome the problem. You want to keep watching that movie until you see the problem resolved. But on the other hand, if you were watching a movie where there was just a bunch of random events that happened and they weren't building up to any sort of climax, then you are probably going to lose interest in that movie and stop watching it. So as you're making videos for your YouTube channel, it's important that you take advantage of this, that you make some sort of video that has a format your viewer will recognize so they stick around till the end. For example, the first video format that I mentioned is the Listicle video format. So in this type of video, you might list the top 10 travel destinations of 2020 or the top 10 budget cameras that YouTube creators could use. In each of these types of videos, you're going to be listing a certain number of things, and the viewer will stick around for the entire list, or at least most of it. On the other hand, if you were just talking about a bunch of random places people could visit or a bunch of random cameras, people would lose interest a lot faster because they wouldn't know that you're leading up to your top recommendation, and they wouldn't know how many are going to be on your list. I know that the format of your video might not seem like it's going to have a huge impact on your channel, but it really can help to both differentiate you from your competition. If your competition is making videos that are a little bit less structured, a little bit more rambly, but your videos have this predictable flow, and it can also help people to watch your videos for longer, which will help your videos to rank better and help you to get more views on YouTube. So in conclusion, no, it is not too late to start a channel on YouTube. You have not missed the boat. There is still a big opportunity here. And in fact, as YouTube has continued to improve and advance their algorithm, the opportunity for growing your channel and becoming a successful YouTube creator is actually a bigger and better opportunity than it ever has been in the past. And the very best news is that the more interested you are in becoming a YouTube creator and the more passion you have behind that interest, the easier it will be for you to succeed. You'll be able to easily rise above your competition if you have that passion. All right, well, that is all for today's video. But if you want to see more videos like this in the future, then make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified when my next video comes out. I make new videos every single week, and I would love to have you join me for the next one. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Gillian Perkins, and I'll see you next time.